All this is going to do is piss people off. That's all this is going to do. This isn't going to do anything other than just piss people off. There are people I know, once this ends, they're not going to play this game. Final Fantasy XIV mod, Mare is shutting down. Okay, Mare and Dalamud are different things, right? Mare is what shares your mod with others. Okay, basically people are still going to be able to mod their character. They just can't share with others. Is that correct? So it's not as dark as it originally appeared. See the sun set. The day is ending. With a heavy heart, I have to announce the end of Mare as you know it. I received a legal inquiry concerning the project. After reviewing my options with counsel, I'm winding it down. Holy shit. So according to them, they actually talked to a lawyer? Effective immediately, the Discord server will be limited to the general chat with a heavy slow mode. The registration will be closed and the bot services will be out of commission. The repositories for client server API will also be removed as per this announcement. I will be removing all Patreon Ko-Fi members and disabling the tiers. The server will continue to run until August 22nd. Holy shit, so tomorrow. After that, the server will shut down and the main repository will be removed as well. Enjoy your last doomsday party. Please avoid speculation or harassment in any form or fashion towards anyone involved. I will not be sharing any illegal details, and I ask that you don't contact any third parties about this. Thank you for the past 3 years of Mare. I hope you enjoyed the ride. If you feel generous and like to leave a one-time tip for my work, you can do so. Absolutely optional and no perks involved. The funds are solely a donation towards me, not a legal fund. I was saying the other day, man, that the only type of player that 14 hasn't, like, really messed with have been the modders, have been the gooners. And holy shit, man. Holy shit. Literally not even like, I don't know, what I say that, like a week, 2 weeks ago or whatever. I don't know, maybe it's 3. Anyway, I said it recently, right? And now this person gets hit with this cease and desist. Can you imagine if, like, they actually spent the fucking money on the game instead of, like, lawyers to shut down something that, okay, it is to my belief that even though this is happening, eventually at some point, someone is going to pick up the torch. That is not insane. That is a legal right of SE to do this. Okay, I'm not saying it's not within their right. Okay, you're completely misunderstanding me. I'm not saying that this is not within their right. It is completely in their right. But you need to actually think about this for a second. This is the same principle as like Capcom banning people for like modding Monster Hunter. It's the same dumbass fucking retarded fucking principle that, oh, I'm going to fuck with people that, you know, are doing nothing, like they're harming basically no one. And instead, we're going to just release this shitty fucking game. We're going to continue to shit on like different fucking communities and different fucking player bases and shit like that, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't have the legal right to do this. I'm not saying that. They do. Absolutely, they do. And that's the hill that they're going to stand on. That's fine. But my question is that they have a game that obviously have problems. Now, for you that don't understand, whenever you sue anybody, whenever you go to court, there's only one common thing that happens. One common thing. You know what that is? The lawyer always wins. They always win, man. Even if they lose, they still win because lawyers are ridiculously expensive. Why do you think lawyers take cases they know they can't win? For the money, bro. Usually the legal team and dev team are entirely separate entities. One does not affect the other. Like I said, it's probably my ignorance to how their systems work. But regardless, the money has to come from somewhere, okay? The money has to come from somewhere. The lawyers have to get permission from them to do this. You know what I'm saying? They have to. It's not like Square Enix doesn't know about this or some shit. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't know about it. Of course they know about it. At the end of the day, this person and people that use Mare, you're doing something wrong, according to Square Enix. But here's the problem. I think Square Enix does a lot of stupid shit. I don't really respect Square Enix's opinion on a lot of things, okay? I think Square Enix is wrong about a lot of things, okay? That doesn't mean that I don't love Square Enix. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy their games. I think that on a lot of cases, they're fucking retarded. That's what I think. I think that a lot of things that they do is fucking stupid. They do a lot of useless, stupid shit that no one asked for. It's a bad fucking decision, but they do it anyway because they're fucking brain damaged. the one type of player that is not affected by any of the bullshit that Square Enix is doing, and they finally affect that player. That is absolutely insane. This whole thing where they like send them a cease and desist and they're threatening to sue and all this shit, which we will look at the actual letter later. I just want to, say my opinion, my standpoint first. They have the right to do this. Should they do this from a legal standpoint? Yes, absolutely. But my problem with that is that I also, have like a personal feeling towards this shit. I disagree with this, but I don't disagree with this because I don't think that they don't have the right to do it. I disagree with this because like this is such a pointless thing. This is so pointless. My mentality is this: who gives a fuck if people use Mare? It's the same thing as who gives a fuck if people in Monster Hunter Wilds mod their quests. Did you know that you can get banned in Monster Hunter for just modding a quest? And there's like apparently no appeal to the ban. Who the fuck gives a shit if people do this? If you care that people do this, then I think you're fucking stupid. And the reason why is because this doesn't harm you. This has nothing to do with you. This doesn't even affect you. All I'm trying to say is that they can do this. They have the right to do this. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Like, this obviously doesn't have anything to do with the dev team or anything like that. When I say that Square Enix is fucking stupid, I'm talking about their decisions over the past like few years have been fucking stupid. Like, a lot of their decisions have been fucking stupid. And it's showing. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's not really up for debate. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that if you were to ask a normal person like that actually plays their games, hey, has Square Enix had any failed games in the past like few years? Well, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is that 14 has been carrying the fucking company. Okay? And this is according to themselves. Square Enix has made some questionable, if not stupid, decisions in the past like few years, and currently they're doing that now. And I'm not even talking about 14. I'm just talking about the company as a whole. What is this going to accomplish? Because, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Can't somebody else just pick up the torch? Theoretically, they are going to sue this guy or send a cease and desist. They're going to spend this money on the lawyers to do this, and it's going to accomplish nothing. This is such a worthless waste of time to go after this person. Like, they have so many bigger problems than Mare. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? They have so many other problems than Mare, and they choose to spend their time finding this guy or person, finding this person, and making them take it down when there's just going to be someone else comes along and picks up the torch. Like, eventually, right? I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying next week. But what I'm saying, guys, is that for those of you that didn't play back in the Stone Age, in A Realm Reborn, for those of you that didn't play back then, or you didn't play in 1.0, okay, there was nothing. There, like, ACT didn't even work at the start, okay? My point is that look how far we've come, right? Like, we went from, like, absolutely nothing, and the community has made all of this shit, okay? So what I'm saying is, yeah, sure, this is a huge speed bump. It's a huge wall. But this is not something that, like, the community is not going to overcome. This just seems like a huge waste of time and money. I don't know how Square Enix decides to spend their money outside of, like, siphoning 14's money and putting it into shit that no one fucking asked for. What was that really shitty game they made? Like Foreskin or Forsaken or something like that. What was that shitty game? Didn't they make that and it fucking died in like 2 days? All jokes aside, man, I don't use Mare and I've never used Mare. But some of the things that I have seen from Mare have just been so fucking cool. Okay? They've just been so fucking awesome, man. Okay? Now, I know that, like, you guys said that Mare is the program that shares. So technically, the people didn't develop it in Mare. Okay? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. All right? But they technically didn't, like, develop it in Mare. It just allows them to share. Well, what that does is that creates a community. As far as I know, you can still mod your fucking character. You can still, make massive tits, whatever. I think that all of that shit is really, really, really fucking awesome. And I support like 99% of it, up to the point of where it becomes like weird. You know what I mean? Like all of the funny shit, like you have an ass the size of a fucking, Empire State Building. I think that shit's fucking stupid. I think it's funny, or like, you fight Thomas the Tank Engine and shit like that. You know what I mean? I think all that's funny. Now, obviously, like, people will take it too far. They do weird shit with like, fucking, pedo shit and, that weird, creepy shit. None of that, like all of that shit, man, that can fuck off. You know what I mean? Like all of that shit, it's not the program, it's the person. That person is just going to be fucking weird regardless. I have a lot of friends that mod their characters. I have a lot of friends that use Mare. All the shit that they show me is just so fucking awesome. So the fact that like now it's going to be harder to share what you make, what you mod with other people. It's just like, dude, what the, like my question is, what the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? Wait, my friends use it not for gooner stuff, but to mod and RP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like a lot of people, yes, I know a lot of people goon to that shit, okay? I understand a lot of people goon to it. But dude, there's also people that don't. There's also people that just literally RP. Like, dude, dude, I have some friends that RP, and it's like they'll have their character, and it reminds me of like kind of like a D&D session. They will literally type out fucking paragraphs in the chat and shit, okay? Not everybody uses it to goon. And you know what, man? I'm just going to be real here. If you use it to goon, who cares? Who cares? Okay? I've gooned to Tifa fucking Lara Croft before, and you know exactly what video I'm talking about. Don't even fucking pretend you don't. You fucking know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? You know, and I actually wanted to see part 2 because actually at the end of it, you know, after you're sitting there and, you know, you're completely busted, the biggest load you can possibly bust, you're actually watching it. And it starts to get interesting, actually. It does. So Tifa eventually drags Lara Croft into this, like, new wizard realm. And because, like, the video is actually quite good. It's actually more smarter than you would think because what it does is it saves all the development and plot and shit for after you have, you know, busted the nut. Because after you've busted the nut, you are no longer sexual anymore, right? So now you're in, you know, post-nut clarity. And now they saved all the lore and the stuff and the story for when you're perfectly fucking clairvoyant or whatever. You know what I'm saying, man? So you're sitting there completely hosed down in your own juices and you're watching it and you're like, oh, wow. So Tifa's a part of a society? Like there's like this weird like wizard society and it's through this portal and she drags Lara Croft like through the portal. Like why did she kidnap her? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Brother, you are alive. Yeah, so it's actually quite a good film. Anyway, someone else is going to come along and they're not going to put their personal shit on the GitHub or whatever. They're going to be way more anonymous. They're just going to do virtually the same fucking thing. It's just going to continue. So at the end of the day, this is going to matter nothing. Yeah, a community has already said they will have an alternative up in a month. Okay, I mean, good. I'm going to be real here, guys. I can't help but feel a little guilty for this. I know Square Enix watches the stream. I know that members of the dev watch the stream. I know this 100%. Yoshi P has told me multiple fucking times. Multiple times. So I want to be clear. I love Final Fantasy XIV. I do. I'm probably one of the last people that love Final Fantasy XIV. Even after this, I still love Final Fantasy XIV. But that doesn't mean that they are not complete fucking idiots from time to time. I've showed a lot of stuff on my stream. Now, I don't know that I was any direct cause to this, okay? Like, I'm not saying that a fucking dev was sitting behind a keyboard, you know, waiting for the goon and being like, oh, come on, show some tits. Show some tits. Ooh, do it, bald man. I'm going to fucking sue this fucking guy. Yo, get his ass. You know, I'm not saying there was a dev that was doing that. I'm not saying that there was a person doing that, okay? But what I am saying is that maybe in some second-hand or third-hand, you know, way, they maybe saw something on the stream that got their attention. Maybe. And if that was the case, man, I am truly sorry. I am. Typically when shit like this happens with mods and shit, if it's something that I have showed and then it ends up getting banned or something, I do genuinely feel bad because I can't help but think to myself, maybe I contributed to it. Bro, you had a whole gooning stream showcase. Square Enix is the type of company that thinks that they can control their players 100%. They try so hard to, but they do a horrible job. They have unrealistic expectations about their fucking player base. All this is going to do is piss people off. That's all this is going to do. This isn't going to do anything other than just piss people off and eventually... Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. There are people I know, once this ends, they're not going to play this game until their shit's back. Now, I know that that sounds stupid to some of you, but it's the same principle like people not playing, like not raiding without their mods. You have to understand, guys, that a majority of players, they put how they want to play first above like, you know, everything. if you're a raider and you can't tolerate not having fucking CACBot or Splatoon, which, sorry, I'm, still, developing some stuff on that. But if you're one of those players that cannot play without it, then you're literally not going to play the game until it's updated. Okay? Like, what I'm trying to say here is that if you're not enjoying your time, but you know that it will be updated in a couple days or 3 days, then those players are either going to, one, log in way less or just not log in at all until their shit's fixed. I think that they are trying to fuck with players that are literally keeping the game alive right now. Because I'll tell you what, Raiders sure as fuck Raiders sure aren't playing. Casuals sure aren't playing. Mid-core players have never been playing the game. Who the fuck's left? The fucking RP gooners. That's who's left. So literally, Square Enix has outdone themselves. They have literally kicked every single type of player out of their game, except for pure console players. Those are the only players that are left playing the game. That's the only fucking players. Dicks out for the RP community right now, man. Dicks out, because holy shit, you guys are keeping this game alive. And you know what? After this, fuck them. Let it die. Fuck them. Okay? Dude, I'm going to be playing Ion 2 in a couple months. What the fuck do I care? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my point here. I'm sorry you guys have to put up with this. And hopefully this is just a speed bump. RP enjoyers, gooners, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got to put up with this, man. I'm sorry you got to deal with this. Don't get me wrong. I love Square Enix. But at the end of the day, I stand with the community. I stand with the gooners. I'm going to come. I stand with the gooners. I stand with the RP-ers. I stand with you. RP Nation. RP Nation. Because, dude, for a majority of players that do this shit, they're not fucking bothering anybody, man. Yeah, sure, you have one or two bad eggs. You know what I'm saying? But you can't have, you're going to have that in any type of community. So anyway, that's where I stand. That's my opinion. I think that people should be able to do this. Like, obviously, within reason. You can say whatever you want. Oh, but it's in the TOS, Xeno. Oh, it's in the TOS. Yeah, that's corporate shit, man. It's fucking stupid. Like, why don't you stop sucking corporate dick? You know what I'm saying? Get the corporate cock out of your mouth and actually think for a second, who is this affecting? Who is this harming? No one. No one. Why should people not be allowed to do this? And the thing that pisses me off is that Square Enix will ban, they'll fuck with modders and shit, but they won't put good shit in their game. That's what I don't understand. Dude, there have been so many quality of life shit that have come from mods and everything like that. Do you think Square Enix thought of that idea? Do you think they thought of it? Fuck no. They're idiots. They don't think of that shit, okay? Where do you think they got the idea from? They got the idea from the guy that they banned that was using it. That's who the fucking idea they got it from, okay? They've literally done this in the past. This is fact. You can't dispute this. They literally have done this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my point being, this is just another stupid decision that SE has decided to make. I don't think that this is going to change anything. I think that people will, what Jeff Goldblum say? Modders find a way. Or some shit like that, right? So let's look at the actual thing. Yeah, okay, so this is the dev. Okay, so, welp, I got a cease and desist from SE. It is real. The PDF also has my actual home address. Yes, I'm a moron and had a real name on some commits as I didn't realize it due to fucking GitHub credentials. Okay, so... Not that I would say this is a good idea, but theoretically, couldn't this person just do it all again, but just make another account? If they got caught the second time, they would be fucked. Well, yeah. It'd probably get struck down so fast, and if GitHub releases the info to SC and comes back, it'll be bad for this dev. Okay, so then theoretically, couldn't this person just give all of the information to another person and then they do it? I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Basically, what I'm trying to do, what I'm proving is that this is worthless. That's all I'm trying to say, is that this entire thing where they're going after this person, at the end of the day, it's just going to be worthless. So who's a goat? Oh, the Dalamud. Holy shit, dude, this guy's name is Goat. Dude, that couldn't be more true. Good Christ. This guy, the goat, is the Dalamud. Okay, attention, Baldinia citizens. Attention. We have a new mission. Citizens of Baldinia, take up arms. We are at war. I repeat, we are at war. We must protect the GOAT at all costs. We must protect the GOAT. Hello, everyone. We are aware of recent developments regarding a popular custom repository plugin. I want to make it clear that we currently don't have anything to report with regards to Dalamon and 14 launcher. Holy shit. Thank fucking God, bro. Dude, I feel like, dude, you know what this feels like right now? I feel like that like, okay, so you have this like world map, you know, and you have like Baldinia, you know, you have like, Baldinia. We are fully in support of like mods and all that shit. You know what I mean? Okay. Like on the other continent, you have like, you know, Mare. And you have Dalamud, you know, like Mare Nation, you know, the Dalamud Superstore, you know, and the Superstore is like the size of a whole fucking city. You know what I mean? You have like all these different countries and shit, you know, and like one of the countries is like fucking on fire and burning, right? Like that's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm just like looking through like a fucking, you know, like a telescope or some shit. And I'm like seeing this horrid fucking just city just being, you know, engulfed in flames. You know what I mean, dude? And I feel so bad. You know what I mean? With that in mind, we'd like to remind you that the only source of official information regarding Dalamon is this channel and this server. Please treat any information not stemming from this channel with the appropriate skepticism. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Holy shit. So this one is fake. The person didn't release the actual statement. This is going to be some bias coming out. Okay, now I know that my personal feelings on this situation is probably not correct. But my personal feelings on this situation is I kind of feel bad for this person. I feel bad for this person because I feel like that this individual brought a lot of people together. A lot of people had a lot of good times, and they know they fucked up, but at the end of the day, they fucked up, so they deserved it. But I can't help but feel sorry for them. TLDR, Square Enix can definitely do this legally. I will not argue that. Of course they can. It's their game. They can do what they want. I think this is a waste. This is a waste of time. It's a waste of resources, whatever. You know, Square Enix has not been smart about their resources recently, you know, in the recent years. They have siphoned money from 14 to put into other projects and other games that have failed, that have been miserable, okay? So to me, it doesn't make sense why you would go after a community that isn't harming anyone. And another thing is that this, at the end of the, you know, the end of the day, this is going to be a waste. Because it's not going to matter. Someone else will pick up the torch. Okay? Someone else will. You know, someone else will be much more anonymous. Okay? It's going to happen eventually. This is a complete waste of time, in my opinion. So they're doing this to basically put a speed bump in the RP community, the gooners. Someone else is going to fix it. So in the grand scheme of things, this is just, to me, another stupid decision. Like, even from a company's perspective, I would not want to spend money on a legal team to fucking find this person and threaten to sue them. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Can they do this? Absolutely. Do they have the right to do this? And that's the important thing. Does Square Enix have the right to do this? Absolutely they do. But the problem is, for me, is that why? Why? What is the point? This is going to accomplish nothing at the end of the day. Like, the thing that Square Enix needs to get in their fucking head, we don't even have a fucking working friends list, okay? One that, like, is in 2025, okay? They can't even fix the friends list. Do they think they're really going to stop modders and plugin developers and all of this shit? They are actually fucking stupid. And, again, I want to say that I have shown a lot of mods on the stream to avoid, by the way, I want to make that clear, to avoid the mods. I have shown them on stream, and I love them. I mean, I hate them, and I showed them, you know, because I want to burn them. I can't help but feel a little tiny bit guilty, maybe in some way that they saw this and this got their attention. So if that was the case, man, I am sorry. I love this shit, and I think it's awesome, and I think it's hilarious, the stuff that people do, man. And if I had anything to do with that, I am sorry for, you know, for that. Now, I mean, realistically, did me showing it on stream do anything? No, probably not. Okay, probably not. But the point is, it's like, I can't help but feel a little bad. Oh, okay, so this is Happy's tweet. Okay. So from what I'm hearing, a Premiere plugin was brought down because the page for it had the SE trademark and the creator's personal information, while the server in Materia was congested with people shouting the access code. Oh, if that's indeed the case, I think people forget the part where they should look the other way. And if you didn't talk about them, that definitely qualifies as talking about them. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this is, yeah. I don't actually know how true this is, right? And it seems like he's just repeating something that he heard, so he isn't 100% sure. Yeah, if this is the case, man, like the biggest thing here, right, is the creator's personal information. That is the biggest thing. And also, I guess, the SE trademark. You know, depending on how true this is, actually, it makes sense. It makes a little more sense now. Maybe Square Enix actually doesn't give a shit, but because the SE trademark was used, they care. Because the SE trademark involves money. SE might not have had a choice. If you find someone using your trademark without your consent, you have to take them down or you risk losing control of the trademark. Okay, yes. This is starting to make more sense to me why they actually sent the cease and desist. Maybe this is not so much about Mare, and it's more about the way that the developer did it. Obviously, they made some mistakes. Maybe they had the SE trademark. Huge mistake. They put their personal information. Another huge mistake. Like, this person literally says, yes, I'm a moron and had a real name on some commits, as I didn't realize it due to the fucking GitHub credentials. Okay, look, man, you know, we're all human here. We make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? No one's perfect. People are going to make stupid mistakes. And especially, like, I bet if you were to ask this person, hey, like, when you first started Mare, did you ever think it would get this big? They would probably tell you no. There are rumors that it is due to UK laws. So other people have said that too. So there's a lot of stuff, guys, that I don't know, that you don't know. You know what I mean? So at this point, we're taking a lot of it as speculation. But the thing we can't take as speculation is, well, according to them, is that they did get a cease and desist. The server is going to go down. With a heavy heart, I have to announce the end of Mare as you know it. So Happy tweeted this out. This is what he heard. The most important thing that struck out to me is the SE trademark. If this is true, Square Enix probably didn't give a fuck about this until they started to use a trademark. Now, is that true? I have no idea. This is just a guess, guys. How does Happy even know that information? I have no idea. He just said so from what he's hearing. Guys, don't take what Happy is saying here is 100%, because he's trying to tell you that, so from what I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing, but people will ignore this part and they will just read the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like, he's not saying this is true. He's saying this is what he's hearing. He's just trying to say, oh, hey, this is what I've been hearing. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not true. You know what I'm saying? If this is true, this makes more sense to me why they sent the cease and desist, because of the SE trademark being used. What I was saying earlier was, believe it or not, I like to give Square Enix the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that Square Enix actually cares that people do this. I think Square Enix cares more about the trademark, which that, to me, in my mind, that makes much more sense now. Because why, after all this time, I mean, maybe they just found it. That's definitely a possibility. That's definitely a possibility that they just found it. Maybe they've been looking for this person for a while, but apparently all their credentials and shit were on the fucking GitHub, so it was very easy for them to find. Okay, so, I mean, now what's also believable is the fact that they're really bad at finding people, that's also believable. But I think of all the options, of all the things like we've talked about so far, the thing that makes the most sense to me is the fact that I don't think they necessarily care so much about people using it or about the person creating it. I think they care more that he used the trademark. If anybody has like the site or the things on their GitHub or anything like that, where do they put the trademark? Like, how was the trademark involved? This is the interesting part to me. Okay, well, so far, this is the most interesting part to me, I think. So let's look at the forum post real fast.